Hi, everyone. In this quick video, I'm going to walk you through the resume tailoring process from the student perspective. And I'm going to start by showing you how students can select a specific job to analyze their resume with. Now, let's say I was a student interested in software development. What I might do is go to a job board like Indeed, look for a position that I'm interested in. And once I find a job like that, all I need to do is copy the job title into the corresponding section, copy the job details. Don't worry about copying over buttons or anything like that. Our system will take care of it. Paste that into the job description section. You're going to see similar jobs populate in the system as well, so you're welcome to use those as a student. But most will use the specific job posting that they found. So in that case, it's just a simple copy and paste. And then all they need to do is upload a resume to this section here. So I'm just going to click on upload resume. I'm going to pick my software developer one. They'd have the option to upload a cover letter as well. But to keep this video short and to the point, we'll focus on the resume tailoring for now. And with those fields filled in, all we need to do is click generate. All right, so what you're going to see here is essentially a score for how well the student's resume matches that specific job. And in this case, we have a little bit of work to do. We only have about a 19% match. So what we're going to see right off the bat is a high-level overview of the strengths and weaknesses of this resume. So, for instance, my resume has a foundational background in software development, some educational qualifications that line up with what they're looking for in the posting, but it doesn't align well with this specific role as a Salesforce developer. Um, there's a lack of relevant Salesforce experience and specific skills related to Apex, Visual Force, Lightning, and other required technologies. So you can see here, it's actually pulling out and making it easy for them to identify the specific tools and programs that they are looking for someone to use in this role. It also fails to articulate, a personal reason for wanting to apply for this job. Now, to make the process of enhancing this resume easier, it's going to go through each of the typical resume sections and provide some feedback for your students. Now, this resume itself is actually an Indeed sample resume, so there's going to be a lot to improve and should serve as a pretty good example for how this system works and where you need to use it cautiously. For instance, you can see in this summary section here that the feedback is similar to what we saw in the overview. This summary lacks specific alignment with the Salesforce developer role that we selected from Indeed. And if you need a quick reminder, if you've closed the Indeed page, for instance, you can just see what they were looking for here. And you can see right in the job posting, they were looking for these specific tools. Now, the reason I say this is where I would like to highlight areas that you and your students should be cautious with is this is a very powerful system. It can help rewrite the summary section for your students. And we'll show you an example of that now. So what it's designed to do is take as much as possible from the resume and align it in a way that best highlights their skills for this job. Now, that being said, it is not meant to do this work entirely for them. It's meant to give them a starting point for each one of these sections. But it's extremely important that they review what has been written by our system and put it into their own words and into words that they would be comfortable discussing in an interview setting. So here you can see on the resume, there is a cumulative 8 years of experience, probably not something most students have unless they're graduate students. And so if they see anything that doesn't align with skills or experience they have, This is where we want to remind them. Make sure to go through this, edit the sections that apply to the skills they have or don't. Make sure to put this in your own words and consider this a starting point. So it's going to help them, again, identify where they're missing things, but it needs to be treated as an assistant. Now, once they're done that, they can save this section and it's going to start creating a new resume for them. They can ultimately export this and edit it even further. So it makes the process very simple. They would go through each section, keeping in mind that they need to review any feedback and rewrites that have been done by the system. And then they can start to regenerate this score and track their progress towards aligning their resume with this specific job. And it makes the process a lot easier for other jobs they're going to be interested in as well. There's no exact science to the score they need to attain. If you're looking for insight around that, anecdotally, I would recommend anything above 75 or 80% is a great starting point again for their resume. They don't necessarily need to get this to 100% match. In and around that zone seems to be general advice from the career service staff that our team have spoken to. You might have a different opinion on that. And of course, we would recommend advising your students what they're aiming for in any instructions you provide for the assignment. But that, in a nutshell, is how the resume analyzer works. They pick a job, they put in their resume, and they start editing it in a setting that's a little bit easier for them to identify where they might be missing things and also where their strengths are shining through. So if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to reach out to our team, and good luck to your students.